Hello everyone and welcome to the video. Today I'll be talking about my personal experience and opinions on why I quit Cardfight Vanguard. Well, to give a bit backstory to why I wanted to post about this video, I started Cardfight Vanguard during my college days, and this was during the limit break era, where limit break and ultimate breaks were literally like a main thing, especially with Platina Azel and also Glory Maelstrom. Back then, the game was quite popular, and it was mostly played by kids and also teenagers, and also young adults. Back then, our decks were pretty much incomplete because our trial decks did not have 4 perfect guards or 4 Alfreds. Basically, we don't have any perfect guards. Most of our units are basically like generic counterblast 1 plus 3000 attack. But somehow we managed to make the most out of it. As the game progresses, so did our deck. So from a counterblast 1 plus 3000 grade 3 deck, slowly it grew to mostly limit breaks as well as generation break units. Generation break units were part of the Strike era. We did go through the Legion era, but the Legion era is the only thing popular in the Legion era is basically most of their skills being more OP than a regular limit break, because you get to send cards back to your deck for filtering. But that's beside the point. So even though our decks needed a lot of improvement and also the perfect guards were quite expensive, as well as the key cards, I did not mind. This shows how much I was so invested into the game. All I could think of even during my college classes was, when can I go to the card shop? When can I go and playtest this new card in my deck? How can I improve my deck? How can I make my deck competitively viable? All those thoughts on how you can improve your deck and whatever and so on is literally going on around in your head. It does distract me a bit, but that shows how much I'm interested in the game. And also, as time progressed, from the limit break era to the break right era to the Legion era to the Stride, then to the Generation Break 8 and also the Zeroth Dragons, my deck went from a very crappy deck to one of the decks that can auto activate Kagerou's very popular skill in the Stride era, which was known as Blaze. If you know what Blaze is and you don't know how I managed to easily activate Blaze with one counterblast, you can check out my deck profile with Draconic Lawkeeper Stride era deck. And as I was saying, as the different eras progress, so did the decks. The number of players increased. Our decks were actually more stable and also competitive in a way. This was literally my favorite kind of atmosphere where I can play with friends, other players, and also join tournaments and improve my decks. The generic situation or atmosphere or the mindset of a card game player. But alas, all things came to an end. And this bringer of the end for me was none other than the introduction of the V era. When the V era was introduced, the new cards or the new revised versions of our favorite classics like Draconic Overlord, Blaster Blade, Blaster Dark, and Ashura Kaiser, by the way, were given a new facelift, along with the new mechanics of imaginary gifts, which were actually quite interesting. But the real reason that I stopped was the declaration of saying our old cards can no longer be used. What does it mean when it says our old cards cannot be used? It doesn't mean like your old meta competitive deck can no longer be used or whatever. It literally says your old decks, meaning the decks you played from the BT01 to the GBT era, no longer used. Oh, but what about Draconic Overlord, the end? Oh, what about my Jet Dragon? Sorry, as long as it's pre-V era cards, it can no longer be used. This is basically the company saying, sorry, we want your money, so give up your old decks and buy new ones and slowly stock up on your cash. This was literally a real slap in the face for me. You know why? The years and money I spent on my deck, and also the memories of my friends who literally quit upon seeing this V era was literally heartbreaking. I tried out the V era decks. I bought the Shadow Paladin one, but it just didn't feel the same for me. The reboot literally felt like a real kick in the nuts, because imagine your old RPG games like Pokemon or Final Fantasy where you progress till almost the final stages. Then suddenly the game file gets corrupted and you have to play and start all over with basically a new game. So the V era was a totally new game, but with similar mechanics to the old one, like drive triggers and also riding on. It's basically the same like the old ones, but with new mechanics. But you need to buy the new cards. Is this how the company rewards loyal players who have invested their money and time in them since the early days, just to say that the things they bought can no longer be used and they need to buy a new one? Sure, I understand the concept of old stuff needs to be gotten rid of and you need to try something new, but imagine those years you spent and the money at that. Can you imagine how much you spent and how much you've invested in a game? Is this how they reward loyal customers? I don't get it. I don't know who in the right mind in that company literally says, oh, it's a good idea that we should literally cut off all the old cards and bring in a new format where everything needs to be played according to that format. Look, I know what some of you are gonna say. Premium format, you can mix your old cards, but sorry, that doesn't feel the same as a Cardfight Vanguard that I fell in love with and invested my money in. It's not the same. It's totally different. And as time goes by, I literally felt that there was no point in me continuing to invest in the game anymore. I tried to sell my decks, but you know what happened? My decks ain't even worth the money that I spent building or buying them. Imagine that. So there's no resale value. Yeah, there's no resale value to your old cards anymore, because it's all gone downhill. So instead of selling them for less than what you got, you might as well just keep them, keep them in a drawer or something at least. That'd be a constant. And for me, keep it as a constant reminder of not being too invested into something. But all I can say is thank you for the memories, Cardfight Vanguard, the one before the V era. Thank you so much. You have given me so much opportunities, so much experience with different types of people, as well as improving my own quick thinking, I guess. And if you feel that you have any disagreement or you agree with me in what I said in my video, please leave a comment. And if you enjoyed the video, please give a like. It doesn't hurt. I have 0 subscribers anyway. I don't mind. Anyways, this is about it. And thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys soon.